Andrea.
She's a smoking hot babe tonight.
Andrea is a smoking hot babe. Oh, oh.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of What's So Funny, a show that talks about the funny with the people who make it happen. Our guest this week is Vancouver's own very funny comedian, Andrea Jin. And of course, we have your host, the one and only, Mr. Guy McPherson.
Thank you, and welcome, everybody. Sam.
Guy.
Andrea.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We were just talking before going on air, and we're virtually neighbors.
Yeah, we have so much in common.
So much.
Yeah.
We live together, even two different places.
Yeah.
We don't need to go into detail about where they were.
I was about to blurt everything out.
But,
I was like, this cross street.
But you... Oh, by the way, apologize for the song that objectified you to start off the show.
That was funny, but I was wondering the whole time. I was like, is that a real song? Like, that's a real song?
That's a real song.
Because I listened to it. Obviously, it's a real song, but it was like, but, you know, is it by a musician that's
Who's
for
it by,
real?
Sam? Yeah, it's by somebody who's
It's by
for
like
real.
the Smoking Hot Babe Band.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
their angle.
But are they ironic, or are they like a joke band, or
Well, what
they...
it is Matt Farley is the guy, and if you ever Google him, he's recorded more songs in the world than anybody.
Oh.
And he'll do songs. He has a whole album of songs about comedians. Any comedian you want, he probably has a song about him. This one is the Smokin' Hot Babes album, and so there's many volumes, and chances are your name is on them.
Really?
Yeah.
So he does one for all, like, most women's names?
Pretty much. Like there's Kim is a smoking hot babe.
Yeah.
Jordan is a smoking hot. You know, it's
And then he does an album about person's name plus poop or pee or
classic.
puke.
Oh, my God.
And he sings about them and a lot of celebrities.
That's great.
His the name that he's done the most with is Papa Razzi and the Photogs. And he sings songs about actors, actresses, comedians.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Historical figures.
Interesting.
Parts of the body.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just sings songs.
Is he still alive?
Yes, he is. He's not that old.
Cool.
yeah, he's like 40.
He was born in 1978.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So-
I'm glad I have background on the song now.
He's been on The Tonight Show.
Okay, interesting.
With Jimmy Fallon, though.
Well,
not
not
like
the real,
the good
not
one.
the one. Yeah.
So Andrea Jin is our guest. First time here. Mm-hmm. Only 23, I read. Is that true?
Yeah, I just turned 24
Oh,
like
24.
a week ago.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah, when was that? That was the weekend,
That was
right?
yesterday.
Yeah, is that a big thing?
It is usually, but my family's very low maintenance. We don't celebrate anything.
Good.
Every birthday, every holiday just gets passed over pretty much.
Wait a second. It was your birthday a week ago.
Yeah.
What happened?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I didn't do anything.
A
Really.
happy birthday even?
They did.
Yeah.
They took me to lunch, which is the most that's ever happened.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they usually forget, and then I won't say anything because I don't really care. And then, but for all their birthdays, I'll be like, happy birthday. I'll do something. And then they'll always feel bad. And a week later, they'll be like, oh, it was your birthday.
Are you an only child?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because of the law.
You should be spoiled. Mm-hmm. Oh, because of the law
Because of the one-child policy in China, yeah.
in China. And girls are okay?
Girls are actually more preferred now
Okay.
than before.
I would think they should always have been more preferred.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Because now there's a problem in China with like marrying, like there aren't enough women to marry all the men or to be with the men even.
Oh, so they have to, now they're going to have all these young brides for the older guys.
Yeah. The newborns.
Well, I mean, they're kind of behind.
Yeah, that's true. Because then before they would just get rid of the daughters, or they would put them up for adoption and stuff. So they were all like away. So now the sons grew up and they're trying to find wives, and there's not enough women. So
wow. Well, what about having one woman and several husbands? Sort of, what do you call that? Bigamy?
Yeah. Or,
how about
or
that?
we call it now like polyamory, right? Isn't
Yeah.
that what it is?
Yeah, they could do that.
They could. You should tell them to do it. Yeah.
Well, this podcast is international. It's a radio show here first and foremost, people, but it is a podcast. Hey, I said on the What's So Funny blog, now available on the internet,
Nice.
that if you're listening from Shanghai,
Oh?
is right? If Shanghai, is that how you pronounce it?
Shanghai.
Oh, see, I worked with a woman from Shanghai, and she said she pronounced it Shanghai.
Maybe she's Cantonese.
Okay.
Or maybe she has a different dialect, but I speak Mandarin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I said that, hey, if you're listening from Shanghai, you could even tune in. But I don't know. Are you allowed to? Could they access? Yeah, you can, because they could live stream if they go to coopradio.org and then find Listen
Actually,
Now.
They can.
They can.
They definitely can, because teens there get away with, like, they use VPN and stuff. Like they use Facebook, they use YouTube.
Okay,
Yeah.
and they're not supposed to.
They're not supposed to.
Right.
But everyone does it. Like, the government knows that they do it, so they're kind of like, they can't stop it really, because everyone uses it. But if they wanted to, they definitely could stop
I
it.
think they could stop.
Yeah.
So Andrea Jin is a stand-up comic, as Sam mentioned, and only been doing it now because you just turned 24. How long have you been performing?
The last 3 years.
3 years only. Wow. And you're recording your first album. I should say it's only your first.
Yeah.
Because you've only been doing this 3 years.
Yeah. That would be crazy if I was...
She's out on her fifth album. But, these days, some people probably have done that.
That's true.
So you're recording your first album this Friday. Yeah. Excited about that?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I think I'm prepared. Yeah. I feel pretty confident. I've been doing sets every night, multiple sets a night. To a point where if I was only doing one set that night, I would feel weird about it. I would be like, let me try to get another one. And then there isn't one. And I'll be like, okay, this is weird. I'm not working hard enough. And then, so it's been like that lately. So I've been pretty comfortable.
Good.
Yeah.
And so you got more shows leading up to Friday?
Yeah, I got a
every
ton.
night? Yeah, a ton. Just several a night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's great that you can do that here in Vancouver. Some people might think, what? You could perform several times a night?
It's very shocking that I can do it.
Yeah.
Really. Like, I was surprised. I'm very grateful that I'm able to, but it is very wow, I'm so lucky that I get to do that in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Because it's not, with so many art venues shutting down and we lost the comedy mix and just, you would think that there wasn't that much available, but there are.
There are still every single night of the week too.
Yeah.
Did you perform today?
Yeah, I did. I did a show it's a Chinese New Year themed show. It was a one-off at a Chinese restaurant. It was for 8 people, but it was still very fun.
And you knew that going in?
No, I
There'll be
didn't.
8 people. We want you. At a Chinese restaurant. So did you perform in Mandarin?
No. There were all kinds of people there.
Well, there's only 8.
Yeah.
So only 8 different kinds, and probably some of them were the same.
Yeah, that's true. I surveyed the whole room because it was 8 of them. I wasn't going to just do material. So I got to know them pretty well. There was a guy from Toronto, and everyone else was, actually Calgary, but he was the only white guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is, do you find it comfortable in that situation?
Yeah, I used to hate it. I used to hate doing shows I used to be super spoiled. I was like, I just like doing the fun shows. I like doing big shows for big crowds that are nice.
Because
right?
didn't you start at the Mix?
Yeah.
A super hot crowd?
Yeah.
A couple hundred people? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was spoiled from the beginning, and then I started doing open mics and all that stuff. So, but I like shows like that now, where it's intimate. It's a different thing. And it's a different skill set also. You have to be more intimate. You have to be more crowd work. And it's more about just riffing. Mm-hmm. Because if you just do material for 8 people, they can't handle that. They're just zone out. It's inevitable.
How long did you have to perform today at that show?
I did 30 minutes for them.
And was anyone else on the show?
Yeah, it was a few other Asian comics on the show. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Robert Pang was hosting. And a few newer comics, yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. And but I want to go back because we talked about you being from Shanghai. Mm-hmm. I can say it like that, right?
Yeah.
Shanghai.
Yeah.
And moving to Canada, to Vancouver when you were 10.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what were your memories in the first 10 years?
First 10 years in China?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. It was very blurry, but I just remember...
That's the smog.
Yeah, the pollution, for sure. And then also, I remember just being really crazy as a kid. I didn't know of anything. I wasn't tapped into the news or anything at all, of course.
That's being a child, yeah.
Yeah, being a child. And I would just be really silly, and I would eat worms. I remember eating worms to make people laugh. Like, I always liked making people around me laugh.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So.
And you thought the worm market.
Yeah. I did prop comedy. I was doing a lot of...
Have you tried that here on stage? Bring some worms.
Yeah.
Probably be a big reaction.
Yeah. It would be shocking.
Right.
At the very least.
You could be easily a contestant on Fear Factor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my grandma told me I didn't even flinch when I would eat the worms. And
did you chew them or just?
I think I just swallowed them whole.
And your grandmother let you?
She was horrified, but she can't control me.
And the kids would laugh.
Yeah, the kids would laugh. My grandpa would laugh. My cousins would laugh. And they were like, but my grandma was the only one that was like, stop doing this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't. I have to do it for my fans.
Would you do it today?
I wouldn't.
Could you?
No, I squirm at even seeing a worm on the street.
Right.
I'm a pussy now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever touched one, but my son picks them up. No problem.
Yeah. How old is he?
15.
Okay. Yeah. He's at the age where he's not. Well, I mean, yeah. Some people never develop their fear of worms, but
yours came on late in life.
Yeah, mine came on, I think, when I turned 12.
That's when the fear came. When you moved to Canada and you saw these different breed of worms, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, they just come out of the grass.
Well, what were they in China?
I had to dig for them.
Oh, see, look, because it rains so much here.
Yeah.
They don't want to drown. They got to come up for air.
Yeah. In China, I had to dig for them. And we had chickens and stuff. Like, Shanghai is still a very is a metropolitan city, but
yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. But we lived kind of like in a little bit off, in the outskirts,
in the suburbs.
Kinda. It was like still kind of a poor area. So then people had like a lot of animals and stuff. So I always played with animals growing up too.
Like chickens and worms.
Yeah, chickens, worms. I had bunnies and yeah.
What else?
I had bunnies, chickens, worms. I had a snake. Yeah. That one was very controversial.
Why?
Because they're not cute at all.
No. Yeah, and they're scary.
And they're useless, basically.
Was it like a garter snake or was it a dangerous snake?
It was, I don't remember, but I played with it a lot. So I think it's not dangerous. I don't think it was dangerous. Yeah. And then we had to get rid of it because it just didn't make sense to anyone.
So you owned it. It wasn't just one that was out in the yard.
No, I think it was, I don't remember. I think it was passing through. I think a family friend had a snake and then he brought him along and I was like, oh my God, a snake. This reminds me of worms. And then I would get excited and stuff. I played with a lot of animals.
These are the non-fuzzy memories of life. But you went to school. You must have, everything I read about you said you learned English from watching TV here in Vancouver, but you must have learned some English in China.
A little bit, but just the basics. Like we had English in kindergarten and pre. I don't even know what 10 years old before that is. Grade 1,
still
2.
Elementary.
Yeah, elementary school, and but it was mostly language and math. I remember getting my grandpa would do my homework, and then I would bring it to school, and I got in trouble because he did advanced math on my goddamn child homework. He did advanced math. I got so mad at him. I was like, Grandpa, you can't even hide this.
You gotta dumb it down a bit.
Yeah. And then my teacher, I remember it so well because it was traumatic. Because she was pregnant, and then she came in with my math homework in the middle of my Chinese class, and she was like, Andrea, did someone? She didn't say Andrea. She was like, Hong, did someone who did this? Your sister do this? Or like your cousin, you know? So, yeah. I remember.
You said Hong, which is your given name.
Yeah, that's my first name in Chinese.
Jin Hong. Mm-hmm. And it means?
It means rainbow. So Hong means rainbow, and Jin means golden. So it means golden rainbow.
Golden rainbow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that going to be the name of your album?
That's actually
Not a
really great idea.
Yeah.
That's the first good idea I've heard. So many people are giving me suggestions for album names, and they're all super like Asian oriented, like
puns.
Yeah, like Asian puns, you know. And I'm kind of like, okay, it's too on the nose, but I like the golden rainbow thing.
Yeah, you underneath a real golden rainbow.
Yeah, I should do a joke about it so that it can be. Yeah, the album title. Or a sketch.
You can't come up with that in 5 days, can you? A joke about that?
Maybe. I mean, I do have a lot of shows lined up, so I can. I don't know if it's smart though. Maybe not.
No, you should keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Keep it fresh.
Maybe.
Golden rainbow, and because that way I can have some ownership to this.
Yeah. Good, but you know, my mom went to a fortune teller, and she told her that that's not a good name because rainbows are temporary.
Oh.
So she said that that means gold will be temporary.
So wait a second now. Jin means
gold.
Gold. Well, that's the family name.
Yeah.
And Hong is rainbow. Mm-hmm. So it's not a good name.
No.
But she named you that anyway. Was this before you were born or after?
She found out it was bad after. And then she said she wants to change my name to Yu Qi, Jin Yu Qi.
And that means?
That means
permanent.
It means jade.
Permanent gold.
Jade, which is a different material.
Yeah. It's a gem.
Yeah, jade. And then the second part is chess. So it's like she's smart. You know?
She plays with jade, kings and queens.
Yeah, so jade, chess, and also gold. So those are all permanent materials. And then chess is I am smart.
One thing I know about the people in China, very superstitious.
Very superstitious.
Very. Are you?
Yes, I am. Well, it rubbed off a bit on me, but not as...
It would have to.
Yes, but not as much as, I would say, like my great-grandmother. Yeah, my great-grandmother kicked my grandpa out of the house because of a fortune teller.
The fortune teller told her to?
Yeah, the fortune teller, it's different. So my great-grandmother, my grandpa was... How old is he? I think he was either 14 or 10. I think he was 10. And then my great-grandmother got a fortune reading being like, he is a curse on the family. He will take everything from the family and then he's a succubus basically. So he's not good luck. And then so my great-grandmother was so superstitious because they lived on the farm. It was a farm. It was rural China in the farms in 1940, right? So they trusted this fortune teller, so just completely. So she kicked him out of the house, and he
permanently.
He was homeless for 8 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah, as a child.
Yeah. So she was married to a 10-year-old. I'm not following this exactly.
No, my grandpa was 10.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Not your great-grandfather, because that's a very young great-grandfather.
No, not my great-grandfather. My grandpa was kicked out by his mother.
But for 8 years he was homeless, but never came back to the family.
He would go back sometimes, but they would be upset about it.
But you know what? The fortune teller was right.
Yeah?
Right? Not good luck.
No.
He was homeless.
That's true. Yeah, that's his fault. Yeah.
Totally right. Hey, you need to do this.
What? Oh, okay. This is right now?
Whenever you like.
Okay, I can do it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Andrea Jin, and you're listening to What's So Funny on CFRO 100.5 FM, Vancouver CoOp Radio.
Hey, English is our second language, people.
100.
How do you say that number?
100.5.
You did take math at David Thompson High School.
Mm-hmm. It's known for math.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
They used to have a good math program. Now I guess not. Now you're like roasting me on my that David Thompson.
100.5 FM, Vancouver Co-op Radio. And I'm Guy McPherson, and Sam Tawning is quietly pushing buttons.
Here, yes, that's right.
Looking on the internet.
I'm following up on things.
Okay. Things are fact-checking us as we speak.
David Thompson Secondary School.
Yeah.
1755 East 55th Avenue.
The Trojans.
Yeah.
Oh, is it 55th? Okay.
That's the official address.
Okay.
Yeah, I went there.
Wow, that was quick, Sam.
He abuts Gordon Park.
Mm-hmm.
It abuts. Yes,
Twilight.
it does.
Twilight was filmed there.
Was it?
Yeah.
At the school?
Yeah.
When you were there?
No, I missed it. I'm so mad about it. Yeah.
Is that why you went? Hoping.
Yeah, I wish. Didn't catch the Twilight wave.
Hey, so when you moved to Canada and you brushed up on your English, you didn't learn it from watching TV because you already knew some.
I knew some, but I still wasn't very comfortable,
Yeah.
you know? It just, in conversation, I couldn't have a conversation with anyone.
Right.
So I definitely learned conversation and speak and just, yeah.
But there must have been a lot of other Mandarin-speaking kids here at your school?
No. I couldn't, which is lucky because
Yeah.
if I did have that would have.
You would have just clung together.
Yeah, that's what happened to my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she found a lot of Mandarin-speaking friends, and so her English is not as good as it could be.
Yep.
So I didn't have that, so I had to just talk to those people, and I watched Friends, like, just furiously every day.
Good show.
Yeah, with the Chinese subtitles underneath. Yeah.
And that helped?
That helped a lot.
Because if you watched it now with Chinese subtitles, you would probably notice they're not quite exact, are they?
No, I should rewatch.
Yeah.
Because, my mom brought home a DVD set with all the seasons and with Chinese subtitles for her to learn English. And then she never watched it. And so I would just watch it, and I watched it.
Who was your favorite Friends character?
Joey.
Really? He was my least favorite.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
He's dumb.
But he's so happy all the time. He's so happy-go-lucky.
I liked Chandler, and I liked Phoebe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? There are two types of people. People that like Chandler or people that like Joey. Because they're both very different.
They are.
Joey's more like, I feel good. It's like more external, right? Chandler's more like internal, just like,
Sarcastic.
I'm sarcastic. And yeah.
Okay. And what about with the female characters? Are there two types there?
Yeah, there's people that like Monica or Rachel. But Phoebe's like, everyone likes Phoebe. But
so out of those two, I would say Rachel for sure.
You like Rachel more?
Yeah.
I hated Rachel.
Yeah.
Because of the Ross and Rachel relationship. They were
yeah.
so annoying. And then Rachel, they just swallowed up the whole show. And then Rachel also is so spoiled.
That's what I loved about her.
Yeah, okay.
How many seasons in before you could carry on a conversation with somebody?
I think it was when Rachel and Ross started fighting about being on a break. That's my marker for when I mastered English.
And you just took chunks of the dialogue into real life?
Yeah, I was like, I am cheating on you to like kids. No. But I did learn like humor from shows like that, like timing and stuff. Like, well, I think humor mostly from stand-up, and then And then the timing, maybe like Friends.
So what stand-up is a 10-year-old watching, or did it take you a while to get into the stand-up?
No, I started watching stand-up right away.
And on what platform?
It was on YouTube. Because, I watched YouTube a lot. And then...
So produced things or just comics filming themselves and posting it to YouTube?
I don't think comics were doing that back then. I think it wasn't very saturated. Like YouTube
this was 13 years ago.
Yeah, YouTube was still very. It wasn't new, but it was still not as saturated as now. But I was watching Russell Peters. Yeah, and it related to me I related to him a lot because he talked about immigrant stuff a lot.
He talked about all races, not all, because sometimes people in his audience would say to him, "How come you never talk about our race?" Everybody wanted that, even though he was making fun of everybody.
Right? Really? Okay, I didn't know about that complaint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because you liked it, right?
I felt very included because he was talking. Well, I think just because
he would even do. I don't know if it was Mandarin or Cantonese, but he would do an accent.
Yeah, he did Chinese families.
Yeah. And how did you feel about that?
I thought it was funny.
Yeah. Do you still?
Now, I think depends. Now it's so much more complicated. I think just before it was more simple, and if it's coming from a hostile, just a bad place, and you can always tell when it's friendly or
friendly fire
bad.
Or
yeah. If it's actual racism or just like you're just being funny.
It's funny though that we all think we can tell, and I think we're pretty good at it, but you can't quantify it, or you can't explain why. It is. It's just a feeling. Like, you can tell.
Yeah, it is a feeling. It is. You can tell just by their expressions, by how they're saying the words, and honestly, everything.
And that's why if they get in trouble with certain groups, and you happen to believe that they are not malicious, that it's hard for you to even respond to that.
And explain it to someone.
Because their feeling is, no, that is not a nice thing they're doing. And your feeling is, no, he's okay. He's not being cruel.
I think I can only do that for Asian stuff. Yeah. Like people, I somehow have credibility. Well, I guess I do. But, like if I say something about Asian stuff, I'm like, oh, no, he doesn't. He's fine. Or she does not mean that or something.
Everyone looks to you.
Yeah.
Is this okay?
Yeah, I'm the, tell
Any Asian stuff or only Chinese Asian stuff?
Asian stuff for what?
Well, if somebody's talking about
Asian
Cambodians.
Stuff. All Asian stuff. I feel like...
North Koreans. How about that?
Yeah. No. Actually, no.
South Asian.
That's too tense. Yes. I think just because... Well, I went to a very Asian school. I grew up around mostly Asian people.
David Thompson?
Yeah, David Thompson. South Vancouver. Mostly immigrants. And so when I was young, we all differentiated each other. That's how we were like, okay, you're Vietnamese, I'm Chinese, and this person is whatever. Like, just different types of Asian. But now that I'm in the circle of other races and I'm not super like Asian, there's not that many Asian people. Asians are just grouped into Asian. Yeah. So now I find that that's more general. But before, when I was hanging out with mostly Asian people, it was very segregated. We were like, okay, they're Vietnamese, and and they're Chinese, and they're Filipino. They're just
Yes. Well, I coach a basketball team and made up of kids from all over, and they all love to make fun of their own backgrounds, and it's all seemingly very innocent and fun. And the South Asian kids will be watching a game from another team, and they like to do the accent because that's from their parents and their grandparents. That's how they talk. And they'll see a player of their color on the court, and they will yell out in a playful way, an accent, and I have to turn to them and go, don't do that. Because I know it means nothing from you, but they're just hearing a voice from the crowd, and they don't know the meaning behind what you're trying to say.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because that would happen too when I was in high school, right? All the time, people would just make fun of each other's races and like it was super friendly, and we all knew. No one was like, "What?" No one was like, "How could you?" Like it was all very just we would laugh and stuff. But as I get older, it just seems more serious.
Things are more serious as you get older.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Okay, it's gonna get worse.
It's gonna get worse. So you were eating worms for laughs as a kid in Shanghai. When you came to Vancouver, were you still going for the laughs?
Yeah,
leaving the props.
Yeah, in high school. Yeah, what was I doing? Oh yeah. In high school, I would try to make everyone laugh. I peed my pants so many times, not for a laugh, but just by accident, from making my friends laugh. Yeah.
Wait a second.
What?
Because you were laughing so hard you peed?
Yeah. So many times because I would...
Physically,
I would pee. And then so many times.
And they would then laugh at you? That wasn't terrifying
I
to
would
you?
pretend that I didn't pee my pants, and then I would just like go home. But then, and I thought I got away with it all those times. And then I mentioned it recently to my friends. I was like, you guys know I was peeing my pants back then a lot? And they were like, yeah. They were like,
we could smell it.
I know. I thought I was hiding it super well. I thought I was confessing to them.
How do you hide it, though?
Well, you just pretend nothing happened.
I spilled my water on me.
Not even. You just don't say anything.
Okay.
And then they were like...
And you walk away with a discoloration and...
You just kind of shuffle away, right? And then,
gotta go.
Yeah. And I lived close to my school, so I was able to just like run home and change and come back. And then do it all over again.
So this was like 11, 12 years old, or was this high?
This was in high school. Yeah.
Okay.
In high school, I lost control of my bladder for some reason. Elementary school, I was fine.
Yeah, you got it back?
The last time I peed my pants was when I was 19. Yeah. So how long ago?
4 years ago. 5 years ago.
Yeah, and I haven't since, and it's been great.
Good job. Well, maybe you could get her to pee her pants tonight.
Well, we gotta make her laugh or make us laugh. You've been doing a good job of it so far, though.
Oh, thank you.
You sasaid you're recording your album.
Yeah.
And that's this Friday.
Yeah.
At Little Mountain Gallery.
Little Mountain Gallery, 8 and 10 p.m.
So you're doing
two shows.
That's good.
Same shows?
Same show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I might do different material in the second show.
See how the first one goes first.
Yeah. See how
the Golden Rainbow material in the second show.
Exactly. How are the tickets coming along?
First show is sold out.
Amazing.
Second show is halfway there.
But you'll get walk-ups.
But we're leaving room for walk-ups.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And you said that you may do Golden Rainbow material.
Yeah.
In the sketches. So you're doing sketches on this too, right?
I might. Yeah.
You might?
Yeah. I was thinking about them because I listened to a few albums.
Yeah.
And I really like the sketches that some people did. Yeah. So.
What is a hallmark of a sketch that you like?
Well, what do you mean, like?
What?
Sorry, I don't know what hallmark is.
Like what?
It's a greeting card.
What makes a sketch good?
I think that's hard.
Yeah.
Because I'm not... I don't know. Because my marker for a sketch that's good is if it makes me laugh. So I don't even know. I'm more of a viewer of a sketch. I don't really... I did some sketches for SiriusXM Talk Comic last year, though. But those were just ideas I already had in the past and I always wanted to do. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll do them now. So I think maybe just something that makes you laugh yourself.
So you're talking about doing an audio sketch, part of the album, as on 604 Records, other comics have done. Gavin Matz has done them.
Yeah.
Right.
Sophie has done them. Sophie Buttle.
I don't think Sophie did.
Oh, she was on Gavin's one then.
Yeah.
I think Sean had some sketches on
Yeah. I really like those. I liked Gavin's sketches were really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this album, I just glossed over it, will be on 604 Records.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I think I might do sketches, just here and there, short ones.
And then once this hits, and then you get played on SiriusXM, and everyone will want you.
Oh, thank you.
Are you prepared?
Yeah.
Is that how it works with comedy albums?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. You'll find out.
Might be my first one, and I'll tell you. I'll let you know.
Well, you'll come back, or you will not, because you'll be too big.
No.
So you did the SiriusXM competition. Was that last year?
Yeah, that was last year, 2019.
And how did it go?
It was great. It was very much a learning experience, for sure, from beginning to end. I've never played a theater before that. And that was my first theater show. And it was
in Toronto.
In Toronto. Mm-hmm. And it also, I really appreciated the voting round. Because before that, I wasn't very social media heavy. Like, I didn't know how to market myself or whatever online. But that really pushed me to be more present online, which is kind of important for this day and age, which I don't like. I honestly, I don't like it because I like living my life in the moment. But it is still something that is kind of necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I learned to do that from the voting round, which was the second round, the semi-finals round. And then the final round taught me how to do a theater.
Was it completely different?
It was... It was different. It wasn't like completely different. It was still like a crowd. It was an audience and you're doing your jokes, but some people are like looking at you from very far away, right? And so you're just like a dot to them, and you still have to be interesting for them to look at and listen to. So I kind of froze up because it was, yeah, I did. It was my first time playing a theater, and I was on this show with so many great people, right? They were so funny. And yeah, Sophie did the contest three years already. So yeah, she was like super experienced, and same with other Toronto comics who's played many theaters. Mm-hmm. But this was my first time, and I was like, and I get really in my head. And this whole competition was like a 4-month process. So I was just thinking about it so much, and I froze up, and I didn't really move around as much as I should have.
Would they have noticed that? Or is that just you overanalyzing yourself?
It might have been me overanalyzing myself, but also I wasn't being myself that much on stage because I was so nervous, and I didn't really put my best forward.
And as you walked off the stage, did you know immediately, I didn't do as well as I could?
Yeah.
Or did that take a while?
I knew immediately, but I was still like, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
You
didn't tank.
No, I didn't bomb. Yeah. Like, it was still a good show. It was still a good set. It was just, I don't know why I tried a new tag. That's the thing. I don't know why.
How did it go?
It was bad. It didn't go well. The tag, they were like, what? But the rest of the set was good because the rest of the set I practiced like crazy. But I tried a new tag because people were around me. They were like, it'll energize your set. And I was like, okay.
What?
Yeah. And
the people who were in the competition around you? Ulterior motive.
Right? Yeah. Just don't talk to anyone. But, and then after, I just also froze up. And I wore this shirt that didn't allow maximum movement. I wore like a pretty girl shirt.
Straight jacket.
Yeah. Pretty much. It was those, those off the shoulder shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does kind of just, is like a straight jacket effect where you can't move your arm past like here. Yeah.
And so you have since played theaters, right? You did the Seattle competition. Are those the theaters, or have you played others?
They were all theaters.
Yeah.
So I played like 10 theaters.
And now you don't have that moment of, oh, I'm going to tense up, right? You've done it a lot. You know how to project differently. Do you move around the stage differently than you would in a club?
Yeah, definitely.
Or a Chinese restaurant on a Sunday afternoon.
On the flat ground. Yeah, no, I also watch, knowing now that theaters are such a different game than like a comedy club, I also watch a lot of comics, like professional comics do theaters, and I learn from them too and what they do. So yeah, I feel more confident playing a theater now because of all the places we did for Seattle.
Yeah.
And Yeah. And I experimented a lot too. I would walk around and then I was like, oh wait, I'm walking around too much. That seems nervous now, even though I'm not. But the pacing, it's very detailed and intricate.
Yeah. Has your family come out to watch you?
Yeah, they came 2 times and they were both times they were very disappointed.
Oh, why?
Because
this is why you don't get birthday presents.
Yeah, they were like, you're not gonna go anywhere with this. The first time it was at a brewery and I bombed, and they were like, my grandma said, oh, you just weren't as likable. Like all the other like they looked more likable than you.
Nice.
And, yeah. And I was like, thank you. I don't. Then she was like, that's why. Because the show. Who else was on the show? It was like Dino, Charlie, Sophie, Kyle Bottom. Like, so all these super experienced.
All
comics.
very likable except for Kyle. Yeah.
And they were so experienced and so great, but even they were kind of struggling, you know. And so I had the worst time, and then my family were there. They were sitting in the front. It was at a brewery
in the
too.
front.
They were in the front. They got up and took pictures. Yeah. While I was bombing. Yeah.
Did you reference it?
Yeah, I did. I told everyone that was my family, and I got one laugh, and then that was my only laugh for the whole set. And then, and then, and it was at a brewery. They looked like out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the second time, it was at Little Mountain Gallery, and I did well, but they were still not impressed. They said nothing the whole show, and then 2 weeks later, my mom was like, you need to work on your breathing.
On your breathing.
Yeah, on your breathing. You're running out of breath when you talk. You need to do breathing exercises. And also, you need to be more commanding of the room. You need to slap people with your words. Yeah, and I was like, okay.
Does Mom have any points there? Any constructive criticism? Like, you think, oh, she's probably right in this one thing?
Everything that she said.
Okay.
I do feel... I was agreeing with her very much. I do feel like I do run out of breath sometimes.
Interesting, because you have kind of a low, medium energy style.
Yeah, but in real life, when I'm talking to my friends and people I'm really close to, I am actually pretty big and pretty animated, and I do feel like I shrivel up a bit when I'm on stage. And I do want to project and be more myself. Yeah.
So even when you're talking to friends in either language?
In Chinese, I'm way louder. Yeah.
Well, that's just part of the language,
just
isn't
to compete with everyone. Yeah, because everyone is yelling at you.
Yeah, I was once the only non-Chinese person in an office. Mm-hmm. And I always thought, oh, somebody's in trouble. And they never were. I'd look up and they were... just having a normal conversation, but it sounded like they were really arguing.
Yeah, no, it always is like that in my house. Yeah. Every time I hang out with my people, my boyfriend will always say that he can tell when I've been hanging out with my family, because I'll come home and I'll be yelling. Yeah. So.
And talking faster?
No. Just still the same, but just volume. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So not only did you... when was the Seattle competition?
It was in October, I think. It was in October.
Yeah, just a few months ago.
Yeah, a few months ago.
And how was the experience?
It was really fun. And playing a theater every night was a really great experience. Yeah. And I met some really funny American comics. And that I think I'll be friends with them for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. What else? But Seattle, doing shows for Americans was more different than I thought it would be.
You just thought, well, we have all the same references.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was different.
In what way?
So I find that American audiences are more appreciative of stand-up. You know? Okay. Yeah, like they... Because maybe it's Vancouver, but in Vancouver, I find some audiences are amazing, but some audiences are they kind of have this audience attitude where they're like, make us laugh. You know, like, oh, this is, come on, please me.
It is your job.
Yeah.
It is your job, Andrea.
That's true. But in America, in Seattle, at least, they were more like, I don't know. It's hard to explain how the feeling was, but
they were ready for a good time.
Yeah, and it seemed more normal to them. Like stand-up seemed more normal. Like in Vancouver, a lot of times it'll be an audience's first time watching stand-up or something.
That's strange in this day and age how it could be somebody's first time.
Oh yeah,
like 20 years ago, yeah, but now comedy is everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. You think that, but then I think that's more American.
Okay.
That's more of an American thing.
But other than that, were there references or anything? Did you have to change? Or were you just blown away by the response you were getting?
I thought I had to change. I thought they didn't have Costco. So I have a joke about Costco, and
you changed it?
I know. I asked on stage. I didn't know. I asked on stage. I was like...
Yes, finally. Because every comic comes up here and says, do you have the most obvious thing that everyone has? Do you have this up here? Do you guys use phones? Do you get Netflix in Canada? I'm glad you did that down there.
Yeah. I did that to them, and they laughed because they thought I was joking. And
you should do that.
And they were like, "Yeah, we have Costco." I'm like, what? We're American. Everything came from here.
Yeah.
And it was a great set. I remember that was my first set that I did there, and then they were great. But the smaller. Because the Seattle competition, a lot of it is in the smaller towns in Washington. It wasn't all in Seattle. We only did 3 shows in Seattle. All the other shows were in like North Bend, Olympia, like all these smaller cities. And some of them are very conservative. And those ones were kind of rough for me.
And because even in a conservative town, not everyone is conservative. So was it all the conservative people in the audience?
No, there was this one town that I went to that was just very conservative. Everyone was, people had anti-Muslim hats on and stuff.
What?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah. I didn't know it was a thing until I saw it.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay. It was like an anti-Muslim league. They were like a league of people.
And they were in hey, let's go get some laughs at a comedy competition.
Yeah,
there must have been Muslim comics on the bill.
There actually wasn't. I think there might have been. I don't think there was. I think I was. There was a Mexican and Syrian comic. She was both. And then that was her opening joke too. She's great. And then me, who's Asian. And then I think that's James, this black comic. Yeah. So just us 3, and everyone else was white. Yeah.
Whites have their own races too.
Yeah.
They're not just a color. Could you say you're Chinese, or would you just say I'm Asian? Because you know where you're from.
Right. Depends. If it's for like a conservative town, I'm just like, I'm Asian. I know they don't care.
I'm Asian. Guess.
Yeah.
Guess which part of it's the largest continent, isn't it? Asia? It is, isn't it? Sam?
Yes.
Is it the largest continent?
Yeah, Asia.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Let me Google it.
There's only 7 to choose from, and we can discount a few of them right off the bat.
Largest continent at 44 million square kilometers.
Right.
Because Russia's in there.
Yeah.
Well, not all of Russia. Some of Russia's Europe.
What?
Yeah.
They cut
Moscow is in Europe.
I'm surprised.
Well, look at Turkey. Istanbul is half Asia, half Europe. The city.
You're saying things I've never heard.
Yeah, well, they don't teach you that. They don't teach you that in China. They want you to say, it's all Asia.
I never got into geography. Okay. This is Andrea Jin, and you're listening to What's So Funny on CFRO 100.
Again.
I can't learn. 100.5 FM, Vancouver CoOp Radio.
Yes.
I struggle with numbers.
You nailed it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it was very, very satisfactory. Andrea Jin. So when you were, we started to say you were watching YouTube clips of comedians, stand-up comics. Anyone in particular, or anyone that you really resonated with?
Recently or back?
No, when you were first discovering stand-up.
Yeah,
Russell Peters, you said.
Right, Russell Peters.
Others?
I was Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So his TV show?
Yeah. Not his he did stand up on the show. So I thought he was hilarious. And then that made me watch Sarah Silverman also.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Because you had it was limited access back then. You know, now you can look up anyone and then you can find your niche or whatever. But
right.
Back then it was just like, these are the big players and here they are.
Yeah, I heard your influences were Sarah Silverman, Ali Wong,
and
Graham Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that not right?
No. I didn't know how that list, but yeah, no, Graham is great. Graham is a big Canadian influence for me, ever since starting here and watching him. And he's just like, he's great. And, but Graham and Ali, obviously very new to me still. Cause,
Graham and Ali?
Yeah. Cause Ali also popped in super late.
Did you see her when she came to Yuck Yucks?
No, she was at Yuck Yucks?
Yeah, that's when I first saw her, before her Netflix special, and didn't really know anything about her, and she just owned the room and was hilarious.
She's amazing.
And this was a year or two before her special, I would say.
Yeah.
This was in...
you know when it was?
February 13th, 2015.
And when was her special?
I think it came out 2016?
17?
Yeah, but with on the lineup, Ali Wong, Katie Allen Humphries, and Jane Stanton.
Wow. What a powerhouse.
That'd be a good show.
Wow. Oh, I wish I was into comedy. Well, I was into comedy, but I wish I was into local comedy back then. That was a good show.
Well, Ali Wong, not local, but yes.
But at Yuck Yucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a nice, intimate venue like that.
I would have... okay.
So you haven't seen her live, have you?
I have seen her live, I think once only.
Yeah, where?
Yeah. At Queen Elizabeth Theatre when she came for the Milk and Honey tour. Recently.
She played Queenie Theatre?
Yeah, she sold it out 4 times.
Wow.
4 times over.
So big, hey?
Yeah, she's...
From Yuck Yucks in a couple of years, 4 times Queen Elizabeth
She's
Theatre.
untouchable now.
Yeah.
But she's amazing. Tiny.
She is tiny and powerful.
Tiny.
But you know what? When she came out, she was just full force. Like,
and how she walks around. She walks flat-footed, just like...
Yeah, she's stomping.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
It's hilarious.
No, she's so commanding of the room. Like, that was the thing that struck me the most when I saw her live. She just came out just like a tiger, you know? She's just like... This is my show, basically.
Even on that big stage.
Yeah.
So it wasn't her first time doing a big theater.
Of course. You can tell.
Yeah. So, yeah, and it was great.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was great. It was really inspiring to watch.
Yeah. Did you see her specials?
Yeah, I watched all of them, and I read her book.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And where do you put them compared to seeing her live?
Put the specials?
Yeah, the specials and her book.
Okay. You want me to like put it in order?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So I think the best was probably her book, but not discounting her specials or anything. Just the book really touched me on a personal level because she talked about being growing up in an Asian community and how important it is. And I kind of grew up being ashamed of my identity because of watching, like, because I watched so much movies and TV and I loved every second of it, but I just thought I wasn't the right race. So I didn't really love who I am. And then, so I thought it was like wrong to be Asian in Hollywood, which is something, it was my problem. But like, so that I resonated with her being like, you should love who you are. Like, I grew up Asian. I love it. Like, there are West Coast Asians that hate who they are, and that is not how you're supposed to live. You know, so she, and she talks about being a comic too, and being a female comic, and how dangerous sometimes it can be But she was lucky. She had a community behind her. So all of that stuff, right? She just touched on, it just felt very personal to me because I see myself in that so much, being an Asian female comic myself. And she talked about her like getting good in San Francisco, moving to New York, and then eventually going to LA, which is a path that I also want to do. So it was interesting. So I really loved her book. And then the second one, I would say her live was nothing compares to a live comedy show. Yeah. Yeah. And then the third, I would say, probably the first special, Baby Cobra. And then the other one. I forgot what it's called.
The other one that was terrible.
No, I loved it.
Andrea Jin says it was terrible. Fourth best. She is a powerhouse and just really came out. I mean, to me, everyone has a story, but came out of nowhere.
She did. She did come out of nowhere. I remember just like she was all over Netflix, like front page of everything. And I'm like, who is this? What? And then I clicked on it. And it was great.
Did you not ever see Margaret Cho when you were young?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I just didn't have access to a lot. I feel like she was more, maybe she was more local for LA or
no,
America.
She was always
really
national.
That's huge.
National. The first time I interviewed her was, Google it, I don't know, 2000.
Yeah.
You were a baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know she's huge, and I know she
always
had a
sitcom even before that.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that wave then.
The first interview was like 2005, right?
2005 when I first interviewed Margaret.
She was big then.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I don't know then. Maybe I missed a wave probably because she didn't pop up in my thing.
The YouTube algorithm didn't show Margaret Cho.
And also like Comedy Central I was watching and all that stuff.
How'd you get that?
It was on TV somehow.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just would play around with my TV and we had cable, so yeah.
So are your friends not surprised that you went into comedy? Because you were always making them laugh and pee in your pants?
My close friends weren't surprised.
Yeah.
But that was something I only did for my close friends. But everyone else in high school, they were very shocked. Like, because I'm pretty... I'm kind of a in my circle kind of person. I'll talk to everyone, but I won't be super outgoing with everyone.
That's like me.
Yeah.
Someone comes talk to me, I'll talk to anyone, but I don't go and talk to them.
Exactly. I'll do the dance of we'll talk, and I'm not trying to not talk, but I will only give 100% to the people around that are in my closer circle. And so some acquaintances I had in high school, they were very surprised. They were like, you were so quiet. Like, you didn't do anything. And I was like, okay, well, you didn't really know me.
Yeah. Did you do anything, like any clubs or activities?
There were none. And at David Thompson, they didn't have that many. At my high school, they didn't have any arts programs. Yeah.
Would you have wanted to?
I would have definitely have done them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
theater.
I would have done all of them, I think. But because I was very interested in art and entertainment and all that, just performance. Because I watched it so much. But they just weren't available to me. So I was like, okay, that's something that we can't do. I don't know. But we had sports, so I played sports.
Oh, what did you play?
I played volleyball and basketball.
Hey, basketball!
And I played softball.
Were you good?
I was really bad at basketball. I was good at volleyball, kinda. And then my best was definitely volleyball. And then softball, I could throw from afar. So they liked me for third base.
Excellent. Good job. Andrea, you've got work to do this week. You're going to be at Little Mountain recording your album on 604 Records. The album is called Golden Rainbow. And you'll be opening for Moses Storm.
Yeah.
Oh, Moses Storm. I don't know.
He's a LA comic. He works with Conan. Yeah, very funny.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's at the Biltmore, February 17th. That's going to be a great year for you.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Thank you. I'm very grateful, and thank you for having me.
And Happy New Year again. Year of the Rat.
Year of the Rat.
Is that what you are?
I'm Pig.
Andrea Jin is a pig. All right. Thanks, Andrea. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.